Here's to whiskey kisses, the peaty taste of sin.
Season's greetings, whiskey folk, and welcome back to Drinking Out Loud, where my name is Adam Bradshaw, and we are going through the Dare to Dram Whiskey Advent Calendar, an Advent Calendar that I put together for my friends here in Victoria for a private whiskey club, where we're enjoying 25 whiskies leading us all the way up to Christmas. Today is December 15th, and we have a rare and interesting treat here, which I'm sure no one was really expecting, and I think I would be impressed if anyone is tasting this and has had something from this distillery before. A whiskey from this distillery specifically, I should say. So here's what's going on. I picked this up this time last year when I was visiting Belgium. Because when I was a teenager growing up in England, I spent the majority of my time in the summer holidays when I wasn't at school in Belgium. I would go to Brugge. I would stay with a bunch of absolutely wonderful nuns at the English convent in Brugge. And I won't bore you with the details of how that ended up happening, but they were basically it was like having a flock of grandmas. It was wonderful. I ended up organising trips with my friends where we would stay for free. We'd get free room and board in exchange for doing 6 hours a day manual labour for the nuns. We were clearing out old attics that hadn't been entered since World War II, finding weird old Nazi treasure. It was very cool. But we'd also spend a lot of time drinking Belgian beer and taking in the sights and going to museums and beaches and just enjoying everything that Bruges had to offer. Bruges is, without a doubt, my favourite European my favourite European city. One of my favourite cities, period. I think Bruges, Edinburgh, and, I guess Victoria. I've been here long enough now, I must like it. Yeah. It's just stunning. Do yourself a favour. If you're ever going through Europe, don't miss out on Bruges. Lovely place. And one of the things that I would also indulge in when I was a teenager in Bruges was some Filliers. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm never quite sure. Belgium has 2 official languages, so I'm never quite sure whether I'm pronouncing things with a French flair or a Flemish flair. I'm not sure if Flems have flair. They have a lot of phlegm. But yeah, it's I'm not sure the pronunciation. I've never been sure. I should probably ask Robbie, our one of the liquor guys downstairs who works on the Sticky Wicket side. Is from Belgium. He probably has told me, and I've probably realised that I could never quite pronounce it correctly and just carry on pronouncing it incorrectly. But I think it's Filliers. I always said Filliers because, Yorkshire lad. But yeah, they make Geneva, or, however you want to pronounce that word too, while we're at it. The original Dutch version of gin. But in Belgium, they make flavoured Genevas, and always have, and they're almost like schnapps, like German schnapps, or like semi-liqueurs, and there'd be all kinds of different flavours. And that's what Filliers does. In fact, we were there... when we were there last year, there was we went to the Christmas market and they had the cream Filliers. They'd have eggnog flavoured, basically. So it's been a company that's been around for a really long time. And if you're not familiar with Geneva, you might not know that the key difference between Geneva and its what came after it, gin, is that Geneva was traditionally made entirely with malted barley as the base for the spirit. So if they're distilling malted barley anyway, it stands to reason that they probably have a go at making a single malt. And that's exactly what we've got here. This is a 10-year-old single malt from Filliers. And I didn't think Belgium really made much whiskey. I know they've got Belgian Ale. One of my favourite bits of trivia is that Belgian Ale is the guys that received the stills when Cappadonna closed down. That's about it. That's all I really knew. So I was shocked and surprised, not only to find Filliers, but I also got some whiskey made in Bruges that I picked up there as well. I couldn't share that one in the calendar because it was only a 500ml bottle. It wasn't enough to go around. But I could share this, and I'm excited to do so. Cool packaging. It actually has buttons at the bottom, and the top just lifts off after you've unclipped it. And it has this nice little stand. Isn't that lovely? I'm a big fan of that. I've never seen that presentation for a whiskey before. And it's got this nice sort of Hibiki-style decanter thing going on as well. I think that is absolutely beautiful presentation. Can I put it back on the stand? There we go. It's got one of those little notches on the back, so it only goes in one way. So this is the 2021 batch, so I guess it was hanging around in that liquor store I found it in for a little while. I'll throw up a picture for you. Filliers Distillery, a Belgian institution since 1880, is celebrated far and wide for its mastery of Geneva, that exquisite juniper-infused spirit. Yet Filliers has more to offer. They've ventured with gusto into whiskey making, weaving their heritage into every drop. The result is a remarkable fusion of history and innovation, spirits that sing with Belgian character, and a wink of Filliers' enduring charm. It's from East Flanders in Belgium. It is a single malt whiskey aged for 10 years in European Oak X Sherry, a limited edition small batch released at 43% with no added colour. Yeah, such a cool whiskey, and I'm really, really happy to be sharing it with friends here, and sharing my experience with you guys on YouTube as well. Let us know if you've ever had a Filliers, or let us know if I'm absolutely butchering the pronunciation down in the comments. Yeah, look at that colour. It has a perfumey, not juniper-y smell, but like not entirely whiskey either. That's interesting. It's like a perfumed nut. It's almost what's that stuff that Grandma used to have in a bowl in the bathroom? Potpourri. You know, the dried flowers. It's like potpourri, but with like walnut shells in it too. There's like a bitter tobacco note to it. It's not, I'm going to be honest, it's not fantastic. It's not a brilliant whiskey, but it's a really interesting, different whiskey. And I love it because it's this brand that I didn't even associate with whiskey, from a country that I'm so familiar with and so in love with as a culture, that has managed to intertwine itself in a new way into my heart, by producing a whiskey. And yeah, it's cool. It's not the best, I have to admit. Maybe you disagree with me. Maybe tell me in the comments if you really, really, really like this whiskey. I think it's wonderful. I think it's unique. It's interesting. I think it's a little weak. I think it could do with being a little higher in ABV, maybe. It has this black tea tannicness to the finish as well, which is not quite jamming with me. But it's unique. It's an experience to try it. Actually, on that sip, it almost tasted a little bit like some of those Japanese rice whiskies. Had that almost funky grainness to it. I mean, there's certainly a lot to explore and enjoy in this, and maybe I should take my time with the rest of this, maybe off video, and explore it a little more. But yeah, this is a sentimental one for me, and I hope that everyone trying it at least enjoys the experience, because I very much doubt you will ever find this in any country other than Belgium. I think most people wouldn't even find it in Belgium. Yeah, cool whiskey, cool presentation, cool history. Could probably work on the flavour a little bit, guys, but I'm not too bad. I can never be mad at you, Brugge. Well, not this one, Brugge, but Belgium. All right, cool. Very cool. Yeah, hopefully you guys are shocked by that inclusion. I will see you tomorrow for December 16th's whiskey, which I'm sure will be maybe equally as shocking. I don't remember what it is. I'm going to peek at the card right now, and you can judge from my face. Oh, yeah, cool. All right, I'll see you tomorrow.
Find your way home.